I want people to know that diabetes isn't contagious. You can't get it by just being by me.
It's a little weird, and if you don't know how to handle it, it can get dangerous.
I want people to know that I didn't eat too much candy or I did this on purpose. It just happens.
We're gonna feel funny at different times because our blood sugar is gonna go low and high, and you don't always expect it.
What I want people to know is that it's serious and that I'm not myself when I'm high.
What I want people to know about type 1 diabetes is that it's just a disease that you can't catch if somebody touches you.
I want people to know that if I'm low or high, I'm not my normal self. I'll be acting a lot different.
Diabetes is a serious thing, and it's not really something to joke about. So we need to work hard to find a cure.
Diabetes doesn't define me. Yes, it's a part of my identity, but it's not the defining factor.
There's a lot that comes through diabetes, and it's not just an unfortunate, illness that will hopefully go away in a week.
The biggest challenge is watching my numbers 24/7 when I'm asleep, when I'm active, when I'm in school, when I'm doing schoolwork. It's just hard.
The hardest part of having diabetes is getting shots and testing my finger.
In class, we all get treats. I have to sit there and watch people eat them. It's really painful, and also I just can't eat everything when I want to. And when I do, whoop, blood sugar goes up.
I just can't sleep during the night always. It's just getting harder.
The hardest part about type 1 diabetes is that you can't take it away.
I wish people were more educated on type 1 diabetes. Diabetes is hard, but once you learn how to manage it, it becomes part of a daily routine.
I'd say the hardest part is just getting over how scary it is. So many things could go wrong, and your life could go from okay and then so terrifying from seconds.
The hardest part about type 1 diabetes is probably when your insulin pump fails for no reason.
Balancing my blood sugar and sports at the same time.
Monitoring myself while I'm playing softball, because I have to check like every half inning and every 5 minutes if my blood sugar goes super high or super low.
I can't wait for a cure because I get to play with other kids like without type 1 diabetes, and I get to feel like I'm the same.
Going to the ER on my birthday was the worst day.
My hardest day when I had diabetes was probably when I was around 32, because it was really scary. It was scary because I could have, around then, if I went any lower, I could have passed out. Or if I still kept going down and I didn't notice, because I really didn't feel low at that time. I just felt a little bit, so then I checked and I got a big surprise.
My worst day with type 1 diabetes was a few years ago. I was on the couch. I just was not feeling well. I was really dizzy. I couldn't see straight, and I didn't know what was wrong. So I checked my blood sugar, and on my blood monitor, all it could say was LOW. And just seeing that on the screen really, made me panic, because it's never happened to me before.
My worst day was, so I went to PE one time, and I was fine, my blood sugar levels, and then she asked me to check it again, and I was going lower, and then she asked me to check in 5 minutes, and I was dropping fast. So she told me to go to the health office, and I was 43 triple arrows down, and so my mom had to go pick me up.
On Easter, I was laying down in my bed crying, and I couldn't move. So my mom and dad had to take me upstairs so I could eat something, and they checked my blood sugar, and it was 27.
My worst day was when I woke up throwing up after a night where my insulin pump wasn't delivering any insulin. So after a couple hours of laying on the couch really sick, I had to be taken to a hospital. But at that hospital, they didn't have the proper medication and stuff to treat DKA. So I had to be transferred to a different hospital by Flight for Life ambulance.
I couldn't walk, so I had to crawl upstairs. And my parents laid me down on the kitchen floor. And I was so incoherent that I couldn't swallow. So my parents had to give me a glucagon shot. That was very scary.
When my softball team was playing in the regional tournament against Iowa, and I'm a catcher, and when I was catching, my right hand started shaking really badly. And my coach, who's also my dad, who also has type 1, called time, and he had me drink a Gatorade and 4 glucose tabs because he thought I was low. And so I was like, okay, I'm good. And then I went back out and my hand kept shaking really badly.
Diabetes is a struggle, but it is very manageable if you take care of yourself properly.
Diabetes makes me feel sad because I have to do finger pokes and sight changes and shots. Diabetes is a challenge for me because I have to be careful of what I eat and that I can't have what I usually eat when I wasn't diagnosed. And for almost about 2 years now, it's been a little challenge for me.
My toughest day with diabetes with having this stomach bug. And I had to go to the hospital because I couldn't stop throwing up.
There's actually a lot. And we went on a kayak in the ocean, and we were about 30 minutes in, and I was 27 in the middle of the ocean. And so we had to call an evacuation. And so they put me on a really fast boat, and they speeded me back to bay where the nurse was waiting. And I couldn't even walk. Like, I couldn't stand up straight. She had to hold me. I still have my life vest on, so she was carrying me from my life vest. And I was taking some glucose gel. It was horrifying. It was really scary.
Type 1 diabetes has changed my life because it's so life-threatening, and now I have to deal with it every day of my life.
It's constant of checking my blood sugar out through the school year.
Diabetes has changed my life to do a bunch of things like going to the nurses and poking.
Diabetes has changed my life because every time I eat something or exercise, I have to be conscious about my numbers, make sure I don't get out of range.
I don't really remember life without it. I was diagnosed when I was 4, so I can't remember a meal where I haven't given insulin.
Diabetes has changed my life in so many different ways. I've had it for 13 years, so I've never gotten a full night of sleep.
I want everyone to know that the more money you give, the more chances it gives for us to get a cure.
I have it every day, all the time, and it will never go away.
We are constantly talking about a cure in our family and what that would mean for Keaton, and we're excited. Throughout the 5 years, we've just seen type 1 get better and better, and just the research that they're doing and all the support from all of you to try to find a cure, it would mean the world for me. I wish every day I could take it from my little boy. I wish I could take it from all these amazing kids. But just a cure would mean everything to us, so thank you for helping.